Morning viewers, I've got a really early start this morning. It's just after 6 o'clock. I've got a delivery to do first thing, and then I've got to go to the suppliers and collect a load of materials to make a lot of fence panels today. So we started off, and there we go. Got some 10 fully framed 6x6 fence panels and 5 4x4 wooden posts. This is just part of an order that I delivered to a pub last week. I'm dropping some more off this morning, and then they need a bit more after this as well. So I best get cracked on. Right folks, I'm absolutely shattered. I've unloaded that delivery. Customer request was over the red brick wall. Well, there's the red brick wall, and it's about 10 foot over the other side, look. So I've just lifted all 10 panels, fully framed 6x6s, through all the posts, over the top of that wall, as the customer requested. Some of them are bizarre, but that's where they've asked it for, so that's where they've got it. Right, it's a bit dark, but I've just got back from the suppliers, purchased a hell of a lot of wood today, because there's lots and lots of orders. There's 150 1.5 metre 16mm boards there, 16 by 100s. 400 1.5 metre feather edge. My supplier kindly followed me back with these on his van, and a pallet of post mix, and delivered it. So I filled the van. There we go. 200 back rails, 160 1.8 metre feather edge, and 11 4x4 8 foot wooden posts for another customer. So I've now got to crack on today, and I've got about 30 panels to make today. It's about 10:30 now, and I'm back from them 2 jobs. So I'll get cracked on with these panels, and I'll catch up with you a bit later.
Right folks, this time on Rabbit Watch we have a rabbit. If you look really carefully, he's in the middle yet. He just ran behind those crates near that yellow framing.
Right, it's now almost 3 o'clock, and I've been busy since I got back from the suppliers this morning, just before 12. I've made 12 6 foot by 5 foot vertilaps, and then on the top there's 2 bespoke size, the 6 foot wide by 67 inches high to the top. So I've made those 14 panels. I've unloaded the van, all those materials that was in the van. It took quite a while, and in the meantime JRS Tree Services have been with some more trees that they've cut down this morning. Some silver birch. Makes really good firewood. It's quite popular with the customers as well. They do like the silver birch. So we've had a load of silver birch tipped while I've been busy making those panels this afternoon. So I'm now going to get a quick cup of tea, and I've got another next orders for, I think it's 6 panels. So 6 more panels to do today. Still I'm going to get those, and after I've made a cup of tea I'll catch up with you shortly. Right, so almost 4:30. I'm just about to pack up. I'll be honest, I started at 6. I'm just about tired enough now for today, and I'm back on that big job tomorrow, that huge fencing job on my own, so I don't want to be too tired. So this afternoon, look, after those 14 panels you saw earlier, I've made another 5 more 6x5s, then a little end panel about 6 boards wide, 5 foot high to go with those. So that's the end of today, Thursday. I'll catch up with you again tomorrow morning, which will be Friday. Cheers. Morning viewers, it's just gone 8 o'clock, and I've just done my first delivery, some more materials for this job at the pub. It's quite a funny one, look. It's all had to go over a wall. It's 6 foot drop. I've had to obviously chuck it all over a wall or drop it over. We've got 16 panels, 16 bags of post mix, 16 wooden posts. There's no access into the area where they're doing the job, so I've had to chuck it all over a wall. That's job one done. Let's get on to the next one.
Right then folks, we've now done that delivery and we've just arrived back on the big fencing job. Well, it's a big fencing job for me on my own anyway. It's 22 bays if you've been watching. So here we go again, let's get some more of this. And the ground is really hard digging because it's clay. And I will get myself a proper trenching shovel. I keep saying that I will, but at the end of the day it might not be any better because this ground, honestly, it's clay. Anyone who's dug clay before will know it's just so difficult. The ground's always deceiving, as you'll know. I kind of thought that were nearly level. When I put the spirit, by looking at it I did, when I put the spirit level on it, it's miles out. You can see I'm having to channel really down now on the left hand side to get this level. And all this is just for one single gravel board. Remember, I've got 22 in total to put. I think we're going to be here for quite some time, but it's a lovely place to work. It's very peaceful, and the customers are looking after me, so it's not. Don't worry, folks, we will get level ground sometime today. Like this clay is just so tough. It just takes like little slices out of it, and my spade's really sharp. I think you could make dinner plates out of it. You can see from the video, look, the spade is actually really sharp, and normally it just cuts the soil no problem. I'm just having to carve little slices out of it. You can hardly cut it. I'm laughing now, but honestly it was such hard work. This man just will not give in. Oh god, this is getting ridiculous now. I think spirit level might be fault. It's just little tiny like lumps or ridges that's making the spirit level rock. And I have left this on a raw footage, even though it is really boring. I know, watching the same thing, just so people can see. You can see actually how much effort I do put in, and I will put in. I just can't. It just won't level because of this clay, but I won't stop until I do get it level, as you can see. But then it will be right. And yee, finally, it's level. And you can now see the drop on this gravel board. That's why I had to trench in so far on before, and I was struggling obviously to dig that left hand side down deep enough to get it level. To level it with the right hand side, but it's absolutely bang level now. But you can see there is quite a considerable drop, so I was kind of deceived by how much I needed to dig out when I first looked at it, and that's why I was digging and digging and digging for ages. And as I said, it's hard clay to dig, but we got there in the end. We're just now leveling this gravel board up, and hopefully we can then get another bay put in. Having to cut away a little bit of a ridge behind, because I'm now lining the gravel board up with a string line, and to get it in line, I haven't quite trenched perfectly, enough in line with the gravel board or the string line, so I'm having to just chop a little bit more of that clay out of the way, just so I can move the gravel board up, back look, to get it lined up with the string line, and hopefully get it spot on for. It's all lined up now and level. What I'm doing now is just removing soil that I've knocked down the hole, just to make sure that it is still 2 foot deep. You always end up knocking a bit of soil or dirt down the hole while you're fiddling about with the gravel board. So I'm just extracting that now with my hand, so that keep my hole the same depth, and then I'm just going to check it now, look to make sure, because obviously folks, it's a lot easier to get the hole right now before you drop a post in on your own, a 9-foot concrete post, then end up having to pull it back out. And I'm now just clearing around the gravel board or the area look, because I'm going to obviously now bring a really big 7-foot panel on my own and put it on top of this gravel board. So I'm just trying to make sure that the ground's all clear. Here we go, look, here comes the panel. And there really is just Fred behind that panel on his own, I promise, and it is a bit breezy as well. Well, I told you the wind is actually blowing that panel up. Oops, Fred, be careful, it's blown it out. So this is Fred fitting 7-foot high fencing on a bit of an hill in wind or well breeze, but quite windy on his own. And again, just clearing the area, because I'm now going to obviously put in a 9-foot concrete post on my own, which is another really difficult job. So I'll make sure there's nothing for me to trip over, because it could be quite. And again, what we're doing here is we're measuring the length of the post, and then we're going to measure from the bottom of the hole, look, if I can reach to the top of the 7-foot high panel. And it is difficult to actually reach and see, to make sure we've got to get this hole right, as you know, viewers, because if once I drop that post in, it is a hell of a job to pull it back out on my own, and you can see it's exhausting on your own. We're having to keep pulling posts in and out. Just having to add a little bit more dirt back in here because the hole's a little bit too deep, but obviously it's far better to dig it a little bit deep and just chuck a bit of dirt in and not have it deep enough, and then you've got to try and dig now some more out of the hole while the panel's in the way, gravel board, you end up taking it all down if you haven't dug your hole deep enough. And the problem with this clay is so hard, I've already been caught out once or twice, you just can't bang the post down. Normally obviously you can lift it up a bit and drop it and it'll sink a bit if you need an inch or a little bit, but it just doesn't, honestly. It just keeps banging onto clay and just hardens it up, and the post just stays where it is. So I've got to try my very hardest to get the exact right hole depth hole, sorry, before the post goes in, and it really has to be almost perfect. Again, just making sure that hopefully everything's absolutely bang on before I start this post, because it wants to be just once only do you want to do this, as you can see. And what I'm doing now here, folks, is the post, it's just not quite in line with the string line, so I'm using the bar to just ease the bay, the post and the panel and gravel board across slightly. And what I'm looking for, obviously, is once I've levelled the post, for it to be in the right place with the string line. It's quite tricky, as you know. It's not just getting the post level, it's also getting the fencing in line as well. So I've got a string line, you see, and I'm having to keep utching the post across. Look, it's really tricky on your own. Obviously, I've got to hold it all together and just ease the post slightly back towards you, towards the camera, and then obviously when I level it, it should be in the right place, otherwise the fencing just won't be in line. So at the minute when I'm levelling it, it's just too close to this, it's pushing against the string line, and the height as well. Look, all that work and effort, and it still needs to come down at the post a tiny bit high. So I'm trying to tap it down, but battling rock hard clay, it just hardly goes down at all with all the effort, and as you know, these are so heavy. finally, guys, we're level and the right height and everything's bob on. Remember, quality takes time. And after all that, guys, you're not going to believe it, but look, I've took the post back out because it was just a little bit too high and I wanted it spot on. I know I might go too far sometimes, but that's why my fencing looks so good. It was just too high and I tapped and banged it down, as you saw, and because of the clay it just wouldn't go down enough, so I kind of thought, okay, that's where it's going to be. But after standing back and having a really good look at it, it just stood out. It was like just an inch or so too high, so I pulled the post back out, I've extracted a bit more ground, and we're going to try again. Fred will get this right eventually. Well, after about an hour, folks, I think we've got the height right, but now we just obviously need to get it in line with the other posts and the string. And at last, Fred's happy. Remember, folks, I do all fencing jobs as if it's my own fencing, and I've got to get it right, and I'll just keep doing it until until it's perfect. Once you've concreted it in, it's too late, as you know, and you can rush it and then just ruin it. And I'd hate to get to the end of 22 bays of fencing and then just keep kicking myself because one post just stuck out higher than all the rest. So all that effort you've just seen, I believe is worth it. And I'm sure you'll agree when you see the finished. Right, let's get this post concreted in before I change my mind or the wind blows it out. Now I just need my magic mixing stick. I don't know where it is. Yeah, here it is. As you can see, lots of post mix going in. I put a minimum of 3 bags went in every hole. Some holes had 4 bags, and that's just due to obviously it's 9-foot posts. Some of the holes were really big from where we pulled those big concrete balls out, and it does get a lot of wind here as well. Look, and these are huge panels, so I've got to really concrete these, in solid and right up to the like bottom of the gravel boards. So the whole hole is just full of concrete. It's alright folks, the coffin's just the post mix I've just...
Right folks, that's enough. I've got 2 in. I've been here a couple of hours. It's incredibly hard graft, but I've put 2 more in. So we've now got 7, look. It's looking really nice, I'll be honest. The customer's really pleased, which is the main thing. Working really hard for them, but they appreciate it. So we've got 7 bays in, and now I'm going to have to just unload some more materials out of the van that I've brought with me, and then get back to the yard because I need to make some more panels. We basically haven't got enough panels made, so I'm going to go back to the yard, make a load more panels, and then me and Cole can come tomorrow because Cole's with me tomorrow. It's Saturday, so rather than me just stay and get a couple of bays in on my own, I'm going to get Cole, go back to the yard today, make some more panels, and get Cole here so 2 of us can get on the job and hopefully get some more progress for customers because there's still quite a lot to do. I've got 7 in the 22 bays, so a lot of work. We've got dogs in the house, so waiting to get out as well. So right, I'll catch up with you soon.
And that brings us to the end of this video. Thanks as always for watching. I hope to see you in the next one.